Did you know that more than 50% of all Australian mothers are working mothers?
Welcome to the Marketing Mentors podcast brought to you by RedPandas Digital. My name is Tasha, and today I am joined by the CFO and Head of People and Culture here at RedPandas, Miss Sophia Khan. In today's episode, we're chatting about being a working mum and juggling the roles and responsibilities that comes with that. Now, if there is someone here that is best to talk about this stuff, that is Sophie herself. Not only does she have 2 children and runs the financial side of the business, she's the Head of People and Culture. She's also on the board of a not-for-profit charity. She's the nicest person I have ever met. And I'm not going to get you emotional, but I'm really keen to talk to you about this stuff, Soph, because you do this so beautifully and you do it so efficiently, and you always have a smile on your face. And I know your life is hectic, and I don't know how you do it, but you do it. So I would really, really like to know we've got some key takeaways and tips that we're going to share here for. And obviously this is skewed at mothers, but really if you are a parent and you work, you can take any of these tips away. And I really kind of want to start with prioritization, because I know that's something that I am trying to deal with every single day. And what that looks like for you as a parent, a mother working full-time, part-time, casually, whatever it is, but what is prioritization and what does it mean to you? So why don't you kick us off?
So as a mum, a working mum, every minute is precious, right? And motherhood is really so unpredictable, because one week you can have your whole week planned out for work, but then you have a sick child that just throws a spanner in the works, right? Yeah. So prioritization is key. And especially in those moments where you're like, or those days where you're like, okay, I can't work or I can't get that thing done. You have to figure out what is needed of you right now.
Exactly. So you're not only prioritizing like micro moments in your life. Which is a skill that I think any parent would have. You don't realize you have it, because when you see a sick child, you know straight away, right now nothing is a priority of mine other than this child and making sure I can get them better.
Yes.
So when I think of prioritization as a working parent, I think, okay, how can I break down my day, my week, my hour, my month in a way that I'm not going to let anyone down in any of my roles?
Yeah.
So what must happen? Right? We need to be active parents.
Okay. It's that mindset, first of all. Like, you're saying you don't want to let anyone down. But sometimes you are. Sometimes you have to let go. And you have
I don't want to let go. Don't make me do it.
You have to know when to say no as well, which I'm learning.
Yeah, and as am I. And we have a tendency as ambitious people to bite off more than what we can chew.
Yes.
And becoming a parent, I think that hits you in the face and says, no, you need to prioritize.
Yeah.
And you need to know how to say no, because something is going to fall down.
Yeah.
And you will let someone down. And I don't like that feeling.
No.
So I've learned where I need to say, no, Zoe, my daughter needs me today.
That's right. And not feel guilty about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
About missing work or being at work because my work needs me.
Yeah.
And not feeling guilty about not being there for my daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think you're allowed to enjoy wanting to go to work and being away from your kids. You're allowed to want to be with your kids and not have to think about work.
Yeah.
I think the key is not feeling guilty.
Yeah.
And for me, I've learned that, those moments where I am with my kids, it's being present. So I sent that to you earlier before, but HubSpot CEO, Yamini Rangan.
Yes.
Great female leader, thought leader, someone really to look up to as someone who seems to be juggling work-life balance really well.
Yeah.
She had a really good LinkedIn post actually. And she talks about how balance really is maybe a misconception.
Yep.
That we're not supposed to be really achieving balance, but really it's work-life presence.
Yep.
And if I can just quote her here, she says, Think about presence, not balance. The word balance inherently suggests tension, a push and pull, a difficult tightrope walk. But we shouldn't need to compromise life for work or sacrifice our career aspirations to succeed personally. That's why instead of trying to find work-life balance, we should focus on work-life presence.
I love that. And you'll notice I didn't say work-life balance earlier because I hate that term, work-life balance. Because it's not a balance. Your work is your life and your life is your work.
It's one thing. It's one life, thing, right?
And if I didn't have a great workplace, I couldn't be present here because I'd be stressing about my kid. And if I didn't have a good workplace, I'd be stressing about work when I was with my kid and not be present there. So
exactly.
I totally agree with that. It's work-life presence.
Yeah.
And to get to a good place with your work-life presence, you need to know how to prioritize in every aspect. So work, you come into work, what must get done today? Come hell or high water. My 3 priorities. I always say those 3 priorities.
Yeah.
In my personal life,
yeah,
I know for me, I must prioritize my exercise because if I don't, you think I'm a bitch now. Without exercise, it's 1,000 times worse. So, and I know that you have your own priorities.
Yeah. So it's not just prioritizing what you need to get done at work, but what you need to get done for your family and then what you need to get done for yourself. Yeah, that's really, really important.
Exactly. And without meeting those priorities for yourself, you're not present as a mother
that's right.
or a worker or a sister or a colleague or a parent, if you will.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Organization.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about you start on that, Tasha?
Yeah, I can start on organization because I'm like a control freak. Organization to me is everything. If you are not organized down to a T of even like this, maybe this is my OCD or maybe just like that controlling personality part of me, but organizing my notes, organizing my emails, to me is decluttering.
Yes.
And it allows me to declutter like stupid stuff that I shouldn't be wasting my cognitive load, I love that word, cognitive load on, to focus on more important things like, you know, am I going to get back to that email on time or am I helping the client with that thing on time? So having good processes for just filing your emails away and knowing where files live and exist actually reduces so much tension in your mind that you don't realize. And it actually kind of goes for the same with your home.
Yeah.
So, you know, at my house, yes, I'm the primary kind of, let's call it domestic person. I do a lot of the cleaning. I don't do the cooking. I got to say that for the record, my husband does the cooking. I just clean. All right, yeah, whatever. But I do the cleaning after him. And I keep the house clean. I keep the pantry organized and the wardrobes organized because it means I don't have to worry. It reduces that cognitive load of where did I put that pot? Where did I put that dress or something like that? And I actually start to get stressed out if I can't find something that I thought was meant to be somewhere.
I actually, and you know, working from home as well, I find that I can't actually work from home if my home is messy.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to tidy up first.
Yep.
Then I can sit down and work.
Exactly.
And be clean.
You've reduced that kind of mental stimulation of, my house is a mess. No, I can. So for me, I'm kind of like efficiency. Just keep it clean. Don't let it get dirty in the first place, which is, look, I've got 2 dogs and a child. It can be very hard.
Yes.
So again, that whole idea of being present, knowing when you need to kind of pull back on something and just let certain things slide.
Oh, there are days like where my couch is just used for laundry.
Yeah.
Stacking laundry, 3 loads, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
But those are days where I know, okay, I can let go of that because that's organized mess as well. Mm-hmm. So even if like parts of my life are a mess, I've organized them.
Yeah, you know those people where my brother was like this when we were growing up. I'd walk into his room and it was a mess. And if I had touched one thing, what are you doing? Don't move that. I know exactly where it is and when I need to use it. And I was like, but it's a mess. But it's his organized mess. And that works for you. It doesn't work for me.
No.
I think whatever your organization is.
Yeah, that's right.
That organization needs to be there. It's considered. It needs to be considered and say, this is here to help me reduce the mental load that I need to worry about where things are. Yeah. To me, that just doesn't make sense, being messy. But hey, look, each to their own.
Yeah.
And then if we apply that organization with work, it comes down to like folder structures, organizing your day, or prioritizing organization as well. So we talked about priorities before, and we prioritize all these bits and pieces. But if you've got a messy ass calendar and you don't know what's happening when or where, what do you expect you're going to be like in those meetings? You're not going to be present. You're not going to be your best self.
Yeah, that's right.
So being organized with your time as well is important. So I use a meetings link for people that want to book in time with me.
Yep.
And I block out periods of time in my calendar. I didn't do that today. I should have, because I haven't had a chance to have a break. But what you should be doing is booking in 5, 10, 15 minutes at certain periods of the day where you can have a break, or where you don't want to be booked for certain things.
Yeah, well, you don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me on the way home.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to me. So it's organising your personal time, your personal life, your professional time, your professional life is super important for working parents. Like you started this podcast episode with, your time is precious. So organise it and be sacred of it as well.
Yep.
The last piece that I want to talk about in this podcast, and this is probably maybe the most important one, is communication. So being able to communicate effectively to your colleagues, your family, your friends when you are struggling.
Yes.
And it happens.
It does happen.
Happens a lot, unfortunately.
And I would also say that having the ability to communicate, to a village that is able to support you. And sometimes you get that support from work, from fellow mothers, fellow parents who just know exactly what you're going through. Or even if they're not parents, like just making sure that you're letting them know that I'm struggling here, I might need your help, or just so you understand this is what I'm going through at home. But also at home, do you find that, you couldn't have your work life unless you had a good support system at home?
Oh, 100%. There is no possible way that I could be doing everything that I do without the support that I have from my family.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for Sean, my mum, my mother-in-law, my grandparents, the childcare.
Yeah.
For an incredible workplace as well that is so flexible with things. Like I know I count my lucky stars every day when I think I'm so grateful to have that support from my family when I need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel bad that I ask them for too much help, and I'm like, maybe I should not ask for as much help, but they're always there and they're always happy to help.
Why do we feel guilty though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like we shouldn't feel guilty.
I know,
right?
Sean doesn't feel guilty when he asks for help, that's for sure. But hey, look, maybe that's just that inherent mum guilt that we have.
Yeah, it's just as much as you want to shake it off. And I have to tell myself I don't need to feel guilty. Like I'll have certain difficult days where I'm feeling the overwhelm, and I have to have those positive affirmations. It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
I can still be a present mother after I get this task done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And it's that communication piece. So being able to say to your family, I need help, or can someone look after so-and-so for a few hours today or tomorrow, or even to work. Guys, I need to clock off a little bit earlier because the kid needs me. Or I'm feeling really swamped at the moment. I need some support.
Yeah.
So communication is king, and it's obviously not just when you're in bad times, but good times as well. So share those wins as well as the challenges.
Yeah.
So when you have had awesome weeks or days with your kids or without your kids as a parent, share them and like enjoy those moments of success. Pat yourself on the back, because we're too often we're very quick to shut ourselves down and be very harsh on ourselves, but not celebrating our wins as well.
Yeah, that's right. I would agree with that.
Thanks, so.
I'm guilty of it.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Look, is there anything else you want to add on to, being a working parent in, 2022?
I think it's not a working parent really. It's not 9 to 5.
Oh, no. No.
And I think having the flexibility. So, for me, example, for myself, I might start my day earlier. So I might start my work day a bit earlier. Like I might work for 1 hour before the kids wake up. Mm-hmm. And then school run. And then the team know that I'm not going to be available until like 9:30, 10:30. And then they know that I'm not going to be available usually for school pickup, and I'm back at my desk at like 3:30, 4.
Yeah.
But just knowing that you can change your work days and be flexible to suit you and your family life.
Yeah, and you should be like 2022 post-COVID.
Yeah.
In this day and age, a workplace should be flexible for parents, and like I'm I'm a parent now, so I can't really speak for non-parents, but you should be flexible for parents.
Yes.
From my point of view, that's how I see it.
For everyone, obviously, but especially for parents.
Yeah. Yeah. And, with that said,
and not feel guilty.
Not feel guilty. Comes down to communication, maximizing your time, prioritize the things that you need to get done in your personal life, for yourself, for your family, for your work. Be organized.
Yeah.
If you're not an organized person, there's some really cool TikToks that show you how to organize stuff. Low-key addicted to those, like Kmart hack. This is how you organize your fridge.
So
TikToks.
I know what your TikTok algorithm is showing you.
I love those ones. Yeah. They're awesome. And they're also ASMR, which is quite nice too. And then I would be communicate, talk, speak it out. Don't let it bubble up. Speak to your husband, your wife, your significant other, your parents, your family, your colleagues. Don't let anything bubble inside of you for too long, because it will blow up, and you won't be a present parent or worker or friend or anything in your life. You'll just become flaky and not nice to be around.
Yeah, look, and your children want your time as well. So when you're with your kids, I've been guilty of being on my phone, checking work emails. Noah asking me a question, I'm like, baby, just wait. I just
to
need
be
to send
fair,
this
Noah
email.
asks about 50 questions a minute.
But, being present with your kids.
Exactly.
Not thinking about work, vice versa.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Soph. I know it was a big ask whilst Linda is off in Santorini somewhere getting tanned. We will be back in a few weeks' time with our next episode. Between now and then, though, please feel free to hit us up on LinkedIn with your feedback, comments, questions, ideas for what we want to talk about on the podcast. It's Sophia Khan, Tasha Del Bianco. Otherwise, this is episode 12. You'll be able to watch this episode at redpandas.com.au/MM12. Bye for now.